What is it about you that maybe you haven't found your voice in saying, this is what I like, or this is the way I would like it? Friend, here's something I don't know if you know. While the podcast is a thought of mine for a long time, Thinking of Me absolutely could not be doing this without our very own Wizard of Oz, Kyle, at Goodnight Podcasting Solutions. Kyle's turnaround time, dedication and level of service means that I never have to second guess or worry about the level of support in getting our messaging out to you. If you're curious as to starting your own podcast, or just want to see how it might spread your message, reach out to Kyle at kylegoodnight.com or check our show notes. I mean it when I say that we couldn't be doing this without him. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Lauren's Thoughts. This is our third episode of these bonus ones, and to be honest, I'm starting to enjoy them. And today, I think I started overthinking a small bit as to what I wanted to talk about. And the whole point of these small bonus episodes is to kind of give a snippet, one, into what's happening in my life a small bit, if for anyone's interested, but more importantly, to give a snippet into some of the thoughts and actions that are happening, more importantly, that might help you in hearing my story and some of the strategy and the skills that I've been implementing. And that's what creates change, and that's why we do this, because Thinking of Me, the whole philosophy is, well, how can I be better? And more than that, what can I give? And this is my way of being able to give a little bit more. So with that, as I said, I was kind of overthinking this a small little bit. And I think part of that is because something I was thinking about was transition. And I'm feeling a little unpotted. I'm not going to lie. I've been feeling a little nomad-like. And I am in a nomad season. I'm in a change season. And I'm living a little bit nomadic by choice to piece in the stones and structures of my path. I used to say that I took the sledgehammer to my life and consciously broke all the foundations in a destructive way, and then decided to piece some of it back together in what I wanted. But what I've really realised this week is that, my friend, and I hope you maybe get this analogy a small bit, I've been building a path. I haven't been building four walls to kind of keep me secure. I've been building a path, and I'm building a path not just for me, I'm building a path for people who need it as well, into being fully myself and into being fully yourself, and having the freedom to do that and say that. I got my hair done. I quite like it. I got some bangs back. I got, for the first time in a few years, I was letting them grow out, things like that. And that's a really simple example and a really simple story of where, after my communion, my hair was long and it got chopped up real short, and that was fine. And I never really thought anything of that, like, consciously as a child, but I did realise that I was different by having that in a style different than other people. And then as I got older, you know, as the people pleaser, the former people pleaser, the recovering people pleaser, I would find it hard to kind of say, this is actually what I like and this is what I like on me. So I'm really grateful that the awareness was continually brought at home. I'll call a spade a spade. My gan loves my hair short, and wanted and encouraged the idea that I would go get my hair done. And as I say, grateful for that, massively grateful for that, and for the support that's coming from here at the moment. But I'm also able to say, I like mine this way. I want to keep the length, but yes, I know I need a chunk off it, and I got a good chunk off it. And for anyone listening, what is it about you? And this is a really simple one I'm talking about here. What is it about you that maybe you haven't found your voice in saying, this is what I like, or this is the way I would like it? And I'll put my hands up and say that in the past, something I've done is say that really loudly, really forcefully, and make it known that this is my way. And while there's a power to that, it wasn't really being yielded in the right way. And there's a difference between like a boundary and a bulldozer. I know the times I've been like a bulldozer, and I know the times that I've let my boundaries be completely walked over. So yeah, there's a seed of thought, I suppose, for us in where do we draw some lines as we build our path that also keeps that centered sense of ourselves. For me right now, the only story I really have to share this week is by getting my hair done. in doing that, in finding a blend of all, coming back kind of to the idea of being a nomad. There's one thing I think, and I have my notebook here as example of what happens when you get yourself into an environment that you thrive in. The reason I mention the notebook and the reason I have it is because I'm after spending a couple of days in the community, in the environment where I thrive. And I always loved school. I always loved learning. I still love learning. And in sharing with you, it's my way of being able to coach you, mentor you in the way and a different way than what I've done over the last 10 years in the education field, of bringing that forward and bringing that to life a little bit. So getting myself in a seminar, getting myself in an online where I found communities of people who are like me, think like me, are overachievers, are successful people, have that driven kind of a mindset. And more than all of that, are energetic, have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of quirk and everything as well about themselves. And in wanting to give and wanting to do more and give more and be more, I come out a little bit more like me. I come out feeling a little bit more like me. If you're listening to this podcast and this is something that maybe gives you a bit of a buzz, that's because that's a little bit of you and you find a bit of yourself in that. If you're someone who's a sports person and you come off the field, that gives you a little bit of you. If you're theatre orientated and you're after coming off stage, if you're music orientated and you're after finishing playing a song, whatever it might be, when you do anything that gives you a little bit of you, then that feeling only amplifies your identity of who you are. So yeah, they're my thoughts. Thinking about having a bit of crack soon. I got to catch up with a friend over the weekend, former colleague who I miss, and chatting about, kind of some fun events of yesteryear, and some things that we can plan and look forward to now in the next coming weeks and coming months. And yeah, my thoughts are kind of on, I really think for the first time in my life anyway, and for anyone listening who has ever had those feelings maybe of, God, am I only working and not playing? You might know what I mean when I say sometimes it can seem like everything is biz, or everything is work, or everything is study, or everything is serious. And there is that playful side, and a massive part of my identity is that playfulness. And looking forward to constructing, to building, to transitioning, to creating new patterns there of how I get to work and play at the same time. My friend, my question to you maybe this week is, what's a habit that you have that serves you, that no matter what was to happen, no matter what was to change, you would keep it and you would find a way to keep it, because it's in some of those habits that actually is the building blocks of the foundations of the life we live. And one habit, one piece of my life that I'm really grateful for is home, and spending time with them and listening to stories. one habit, one piece of my life that I'm really grateful for is drama and creativity, and having that back in life and on a new level and a new scale, and continuing to grow. And one habit, one pattern I found is in my physiology, is in my fitness, is in boxing and having Run Club back and things like that, that I know from the long way of taking things out and putting things back in, that they are the building blocks of my path. And maybe, friends, if you're unsure of what your building blocks are, borrow one of mine. I don't mind, I'm giving it to you. If you're curious and you're in and around the geography of Dublin at any stage, we have a Steps Club that happens every week. You can find out more about that on our socials. If you want, you can join our Thinking of Me community online, where any of our live trainings and some of our free events are hosted on our platform there. And maybe that's a habit or a piece of you that you like in learning and growing and being more and getting deep into your own personal development. I know I wouldn't be where I am without finding new habits, new skills. And I also know I wouldn't be where I am and where I'm going if I didn't really feel centered as Lauren. And Thinking of Me, our mission is to help you think of you. So if you're curious on any of those, check out our show notes. Come for a discovery call with myself and we'll see what your next step is and how you want to build maybe something either on a new level, on a new scale, or you just want to find one of those pieces and build the muscle of keeping them locked in as a habit, so that you know, no matter what happens, you have you. Because at the end of the day, my friend, and I'll close my thoughts on this, that is what we came into this world with, and someday it's what we'll leave this world as ourselves. So what happens in the in-between? I'll leave it there. As I say, got my hair done, got my eyebrows done, and I'm excited for this week moving forward. So talk soon, have a good week, and thanks for tuning in.